Ready. Play.
Next up, actually a more interesting section of the draw for me, this section here with 8 players with all very different stories and quite intriguing, I think, section starting with Bublik and Cilic. Bublik and Cilic, by the way, do you know what their head-to-head is before I show you?
No idea.
3-0 for Mr.
Cilic,
Cilic.
okay.
Yeah, I know. Haven't played since 2022. Their matches, they've never played on hard either. They've played on clay twice, which is kind of interesting given how Bublik has turned into a clay dog. And they played on grass once, which went the way of Cilic as well. So, yeah. What do you think about this matchup?
I mean, Bublik obviously has been in ridiculous form since like middle of May, maybe even earlier. Clay God for the first time this season, even outside of Madrid. Then he went and did that like fast clay swing, right, and was phenomenal as well. Interesting ideas from him recently. I mean, to skip Cincinnati after that, seemingly
Did he pick
courts
up an
that
injury though in that at the
it
end of the
doesn't
play?
seem like it. I mean, he was trying to explain that basically he did enough in these tournaments and he just wanted a bit more time home, a bit more rest. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he certainly did a lot of good work since like April or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, no idea how he's going to turn up because mentally it's always Bublik, and you can see him kind of at Wimbledon when he won Halle. I think you could really see the expectations just being so much higher. People and myself and probably you as well, like we were including him as maybe like the 5th, 6th favorite to win the title. And I don't think it was necessarily wrong. It's just more of a representation of, we had Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, maybe Draper, and then there was like a big, massive Pete there. And then maybe you can have Bublik as number 5. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But I think he also felt like a number 5. He definitely had that feeling that, okay, now I should be a big threat at this event. Had that 4th set against Jaume Munar, which he kind of chokes away. And after that, he's just not really, performing mentally towards the end of the match. Maybe now it's going to be easier. The Gstaad Kitzbühel titles, they were a month ago. They were on a different surface. Maybe he actually shows up. But of course, it's a pretty deadly opening round as well, even considering that Cilic hasn't played since Wimbledon. So really another player who's been sitting
By
out.
the way, he sneaked up, and I guess it's because of that Wimbledon run. I remember, of course, seeing him in Madrid trying to win the title and make the top 100 and therefore, pretty much secure a first-round berth at the French Open. Didn't win that final, losing to Maishak, and didn't make the top 100. And I not forgotten about Marin Cilic, but just thought, oh, okay, I'm kind of surprised to see his ranking as high as 61, but it must be just because of that Wimbledon run.
Wimbledon definitely did a lot of that. I mean, that was 200 points. I believe he also won a grass challenger, didn't he, just before Wimbledon?
Oh, yeah, he might have done, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 1-5. So,
okay.
All that plus his Hangzhou run from last year, that's another 250 points. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely shown, a lot of dedication in returning to the tour after such a long injury at this age. Still cannot be like just written off at any point. Obviously, we aren't thinking that he can win the event, but at Wimbledon, he showed he can definitely win a few matches. So yeah, I don't think Bublik will be particularly happy about this draw. Not at all.
Is this the hardest one to call in the ones that we've looked at so far? I mean, yeah, I know Royer and Boo, and you might argue.
I mean, we're just working on very little intel, right? At least with Royer and Boo, they're playing right now. Last few weeks, and we kind of have very good representation of their form. We've been watching them for the last few weeks, and Bublik and Cilic, especially Cilic, he's just been off the tour, and Bublik, even if we know that his form has been amazing, everybody is just kind of thinking it's a ticking bomb, right? At some point, it's going to crack. At some point, this mindset will just not be maintained. I don't know when that point will happen, but
Bublik losing his first round at Slams, it is a thing. I mean, obviously, you mentioned Wimbledon this year. I remember in Australia last year to Nagal. So, yeah, I mean, that Nagal performance, I actually asked Summit this a few weeks ago. He said, I just focused on myself because I knew that I could get, distracted potentially by what Bublik might be doing and stuff. But there was a clear underlying tone as well that the Bublik that we know can turn up did turn up that day, as in lost interest as the match wore on, let's say, and that can happen with Bublik. And yet I'm probably just going to lean his way. But you're right, this spell away is kind of peculiar, I think, to not play any tournaments between that post Wimbledon clay swing and now is peculiar. And yeah, I am starting to feel more confident about him on the natural surfaces more than the hard court.
He hasn't really played on a hard court since the beginning of his big run, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.